Humanoids made in Germany and a platform to control them all. Neura Robotics is building an ecosystem of intelligent robots for industry, for service, and for home. Founder David Reger explains his vision, talks about the tech behind it, and also discusses on what all of this means for automation and mobile robots. So stay with us and let's go and talk to David.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Welcome to another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. I'm very, very happy to welcome the founder and CEO of Neura Robotics, David Reger, with us today. David, great to have you on the show and great to be at your headquarters today.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for letting me being part of that.
David, Neura is probably one of the hottest names in robotics at the moment. When you look back 5 years, did you see that coming?
Of course. We had no other plans. No, for sure. There was, we had plans to be one of the leading companies. I would not start a company to be just part of something,
right?
But actually just to win. But for sure, I think you cannot imagine, like in the beginning, you can never imagine how this feels, how it really looks like. And and this is what surprised me a lot. But in the same time, for sure, we want to win and we want to stay.
Yeah, amazing. How about the humanoids? So one of the hottest topics in the hot area of robotics at the moment. Was that always part of the plan, or did it just pop up along the way?
For sure, I think in robotics, humanoids is like the top thing. You know, like even like already 20, 30 years ago, I think there was a lot of ideas about humanoids. I did not see it coming as fast. That's for sure.
Got it.
So it was always a plan to make first robots cognitive, and then also get other form factors of robots into place. And for sure, one of the big dreams and let's say visions was a humanoid robot. I did not see it coming in the 6 years we are now building the company. Sometimes you have to take the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, you always saw it as a big potential, but it really developed way faster than you thought.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is probably also giving you the confidence to say that by 2030, Neura would like to manufacture 5 million humanoids, right? What makes you confident about that?
What makes me confident is basically the markets itself. I know this is also something which the most still doubting, but in my opinion, there is some guarantee for that, and the guarantee is basically the aging population we have. So we do have right now a problem coming towards us in a high speed, and we need to somehow solve it to survive, to keep our somehow economy alive. And in the same time, Germany needs an economic pillar, and we need to run faster. In the same time, I think the biggest guarantee we have is China. I mean, China made their goals for 2030. Which is about, let's say, 5% working labor in intelligent robots, they call. So that's what the whole China understands as humanoid robots. And translating 5% working labor in China is 40 million humanoid robots just for China. So, and this is also so the 5 million sounds pretty ambitious, but it's not. If you're looking into the problem we will face. So we'll have about 100 million less human labor until 2030, just in Europe, China, and Japan together, and that's also what we are trying to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a huge market opportunity, actually. But I also guess there is many hurdles still to get to this number in 2030. What do you see as the biggest obstacle for Neura in particular?
The biggest obstacle is because the humanoid robots make no sense without physical AI. And if you're looking into physical AI stage, yes, we had a super fast development in the last 6 months. If you see wow, it's accelerating fast. Everyone is talking about it. It's a huge hype about it. But it still has some hurdles, and the hurdles are If you want to have, let's say, the best, physical AI model, you need a lot of data and this data is not existing, not different from the LLMs like of ChatGPT, for example. We just use text data and picture data from social media. In the case of physical AI, this data is missing, so it has to be created. And here we have to think a little bit different. So, and this is also the biggest hurdle, and I think the limit we have today, which we solve at Neura.
I actually heard that Toyota is working on a behavioral large model. So exactly what you say, like a large language model, but for behaviors that you could then put onto robots and train them. A super exciting topic, but I think that would take us too far for today's podcast. So let's stay on the surface here and let's talk a little bit more about the use cases that you see humanoids working in. So from your point of view, what will be the first really productive use case where humanoids make a lot of sense? What will they do?
Yeah, they will start with simple things, and that's also why we are starting mainly in the industrial space with humanoids. It's basically to cover 80% of all the human labor tasks. You just need to be able to press a button, turn a switch, and maybe handle some object, let's say, into a space and to be able to place it there. So this is basically the issue we want to solve first.
Got it.
And but for all kind of different tasks. And so this is also why I'm confident that's something we can do already today.
Okay, so you're going to focus on industry and industrial jobs, right? With your humanoids.
With humanoids, yes.
Of course. We're just talking humanoids today. I know you guys have a lot of other intelligent robots in your portfolio, but again, that would take us too far. So allow us to focus on the humanoids because they are so exciting for everyone out there on the market. Speaking of markets, you already touched that here and there, but what are your focus markets? Is it Europe? Is it China? Is it Japan?
It's always a world market. So for sure, you're starting somewhere and then going. But for us, the big goal is always to serve humanity. And we see humanity everywhere. So they're all humans on this planet. And that's also what we are doing, building robots for the world.
Okay, so you're focusing globally. No, I would say particular focus market for Neura. Another very interesting question that many investors have: are you planning to go public with the company someday?
I think, of course, I think that's a way where we believe you could have everyone participating on the success story of Neura. I think the story is there. The purpose we will have, like in everyone's life. I think it's also there. So I do believe that the right way would be like take this company public. So we do have there also some plans for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, guys. So stay tuned. There might be some really hot stock coming onto the market. But let's leave the stock market for a moment and let's turn towards your product a bit more. On this year's Automatica, David, you mentioned that Neura is the best humanoid robot in the world at the moment. Why? What makes it special?
So I can divide that in two pieces. So I think one, why we believe we win and why we are, let's say, different to all the others, because I think we're right now the only company understood that we are the limit. So it means humanoid robotics, we should bring it as fast as possible into the market. But for that, you still need to solve some issues, like I said, a data issue and some training, having the skills on the robot. And for that, we are basically the limit. So we learned from Steve Jobs, like how he, solved his issue of limit. He basically let the whole world contribute to it. And that's actually the way of how Neura does it. And there is also other big advantage. Like this is now, let's say, more on the brain part, which is, in my opinion, the main part of a humanoid. And if you're looking into the humanoid, like the hardware itself, even there, I do believe that we are the only one really covering the simulation as the sim to real gap by having much more sensors involved than anyone else. At the same time, also the gap between human and machine, and humanoid robot. There is also a huge gap if you want to use the data of humans. And to solve that, you need also, again, additional sensors. So we had a completely different approach, and at the same time, we are in the market already now for some time. So we did not just start like last 2 years or whatever. We are having always the same goal. So, and I see here a huge advantage of, let's say, what we operate until now is always arms. Or if you're looking into a humanoid robot, there's also 2 arms on a less stable platform, I always call. And the main, let's say, value the robot brings is basically on the brain part and the hand part, like how you manipulate things and whatever. So here we're having clear advantage of doing this already. I mean, all my career life, also before I started Neura, I started already 3 other companies in the robotic space, and we connected all of them. So
got it. There's some heritage
exactly
in there.
Because you're leveraging, like, you're not just dreaming about a great future of humanoid, but actually using the days of today, already the robots and the data they create to generate the future. And this is for sure because we are based in Germany. So here we're not just allowed to have visions. You need to prove that your vision has, like, even the way there you cover with revenues and let's say bring enough value to the world. And I think here we are also again different to others.
Yeah. That's all very, very interesting. But if you could sum this up to one sentence, what is different in the Neura approach compared to Figure, Apptronic, Boston Dynamics, and the others?
I think basically the sensorization package, like the robots, how the whole communication protocols and everything we built to stream the huge bandwidth of data, and at the same time also the way of how we built a physical AI pod, like in 3 layers, because that's how humans are also built, and in the same time the way of how we are not depending just on ourselves, but actually let the whole world contribute on our platform, Neuroverse. That's a big difference from us to others.
Right. That's very clear. And I now see also the link to Steve Jobs, right? And also his approach here with with the App Store, with letting everyone contribute and basically design and build this product on that he envisioned. So that's amazing. Let's move on to another topic. As you know, we are a logistics automation podcast, so we also talk a lot about mobile robots. Question to you, David: will humanoids replace mobile robots in the future, or will they coexist?
They will coexist for sure. So there's also robot arms. They will coexist with robot arms and industrial robots. It's just they will actually do the task humans are doing until today. So the smarter part, and where you need really 2 arms and things like that. But in the end, even you will see a lot of humanoids on mobile vehicles platform, because it's much more efficient and more stable and easier to weigh. And mainly also the whole world is already now designed the way that you can also use them on wheels. And this is, I think, for sure, the coexistence is also the right way.
Okay. How about industry labor, workers? Will they disappear completely? Or do you think even in the future we're going to have some share of human work, and then some humanoids, some mobile robots, maybe some drones? What is your vision here?
I do believe that robotics will be able to do all tasks a human can do, like, I mean, physical tasks, like, and I do believe in the long term this task will completely go into humanoid robots, and but it will be a transition time. It's like with the tractors and everything else. Before, we were used to go in the field, and we were wondering, like, how will we be alive without working on the field? And then there was a transition time, and today we know, without the tractors, we would not survive. We would not be able to survive on this planet.
That's right.
And not in that mass. And we still have too many people hungering. And that's exactly like in the robotic space the same. Like, we will have now a transition time. So first, filling a gap of aging population. This is the first part. But one day it will also, let's say, be more humanoid robots and than humans. And this is basically also the time where I do believe humans will take over other tasks.
Got it. speaking of tasks and humans and humanoids working together, I heard that you live with a humanoid at home. What is your experience so far?
So it's like I don't have a humanoid at home. What we had many times like is the MIPA platform is on wheels and with arms, and here
The household robot, I think.
yes, exactly. It's a household robot, but here also it's mainly for testing purpose, for making some nice videos and whatever. So I hope soon it will be a daily companion in my home. But still, also for that, there's a lot of apps required, and this is also what we are right now working on, and have a lot of partnerships with to get it done as soon as possible.
Got it. David, thank you so much for your time. It was incredibly interesting to talk to you. Thank you once again for your time. For all of our listeners, tune in 2 weeks for another episode of Automation Awakenings. Until then, take care and goodbye.
Take care and goodbye. Thanks for having me here.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com